We are finally back after a week. Sorry about that. And today we are going to be on our hunter. No, it's not with the new boots. I still want to make a build with the new boots, but I wanted to use the Ahamkaras a little bit more. And I know what you're thinking. Those of you who have been around for a bit longer than the others know that I have made another Ahamkara build, and I said that I wouldn't make another Ahamkara video. And now we're here, so sorry about that. Alright, anyways, we are making another Ahamkara video because there are some new mods, and I've acquired some old mods that I did not have since the last time I made a Ahamkara video. So without further ado, let's carry on with the video. So first things first, the first things that I actually want to know is Middle Tree Solar along with Ahamkaras. That's what we're going to be pairing up. Now the beauty about Ahamkaras is that it not only makes your trip mines not able to hurt you in most scenarios, it also grants you trip mine grenade energy off of other ability damage, meaning your knives and your super recharge your grenade back. So that's why we're going to be running Middle Tree, because we can have our knives very frequently due to knife trick, as well as playing with fire and burning edge. Not to mention we are going to be using Gambler's Dodge as well to further increase our recharge rate for our knives as well as our grenade, to make it so that we constantly have our knives and grenade back 24/7. I will say that there were some circumstances where I completely forgot I had a gun even though it's on the side of my screen, just because of how many grenades I was actually throwing. It really is absurd to mess around with, but it is insanely fun. Now the next thing I want to go over besides the exotic and Middle Tree Solar is the mods, and after mods we'll go over weapons, and then finally to top it off we'll go to stats. So with our mods we actually have 3 elemental well mods, 1 new mod, and we are going to be using firepower as well. Not to mention this last little mod called Impulse Recycler that is within the seasonal artifact, which I will go over in just a bit. First I want to go over all the well mods, and then the Charge of Light mods, the rest of them, and then we'll finally go over the Impulse Recycler. So first things first, Elemental Ordnance. Damaging a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well. We have our trip mines 24/7, so spawning wells will be done without a hitch. Next well mod, Explosive Well Maker. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. You could already see where this is going. I know you see the Sunshot that I'm currently using, as well as the trip mine grenades, both of which are explosive damage, plus our new rocket launcher, which is also solar damage. So we're going to be having even more wells than we normally would with Elemental Ordnance. And to top it all off, we have Elemental Charge. Become Charged with Light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well's element type matches your subclass element, you gain 2 stacks of Charged with Light. So with our constant grenade throwing and our frequent solar splash damage on our hunter, we are going to be having wells 24/7. There should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to pick up your wells and become Charged with Light without a hitch. And what's actually going to be consuming those Charge of Light stacks is firepower. While Charged with Light regain a portion of your grenade energy when you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack of Charged with Light. So with firepower, plus with young Ahamkara's spined intrinsic perk, or armor perk if you will, we are going to be having our grenade back very often. It won't be difficult to recharge our grenade at all. So dealing with ads and even dealing with major enemies and bosses, for instance, it'll be pretty much a breeze. Finally, the last Charge of Light mod, which isn't really a Charge of Light mod, it's actually a Warmind Cell mod, is Wrath of Rasputin. Solar Splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. You don't need this, but I wanted to use it because why not? You can honestly replace this for whatever you want. Argent Ordnance wouldn't be bad. Charged up or supercharged wouldn't be bad either. High energy fire, heal thyself, and even energy converter for that matter, if you want to replace that for firepower instead, and combine that with the supercharge mod that I just noted as well, that would be a good set of mods to run as well, if you want to replace firepower as well as Wrath of Rasputin. Next up we have our weapons, and honestly weapons can be whatever you want. I mix and match depending on what activity I went, and just because the whole overload barrier unstoppable thing is a thing in the game where only your arms can run those mods, it's a struggle. So switching around your weapons is a necessity depending on what activity you're doing. If everything is ideal though, then the most success that I had was Ignition Code, Sunshot, as well as Vengeance. Just a solar rocket launcher will do, and any grenade launcher in your primary slot would work as well if you want to be using the Sunshot. If you don't really care for the Sunshot too much, Wither Horde would be fine, or even just any rocket launcher would be perfectly acceptable as well. Although some grenade launchers tend to outclass others in PvE. Salvage yourself. But once again, that is 100% up to you. And finally, the stats. I just spec'd into discipline. You can honestly spec into strength as well, but I would highly spec into mobility if you want another mod to go 100 into as well. Discipline, mobility, those are the two stats that I would recommend actually speccing into over anything else. Strength isn't really necessary just because your mobility will be getting your knives back for you alongside playing with fire, so strength isn't really necessary. You could also run intellect as well, but I would recommend just running Font of Wisdom if you want more super energy. And if you want resilience and recovery, those are not bad stats to run at all either. Both of them are good to run in terms of survivability in PvE activities, so do honestly what you will. Everything works, but I've had the most success with discipline as well as mobility, even though it's 69. Alright, with that being said, I will be ending the video here. Most likely, the next video will be a hunter one again with the new boots that I got here, Star Eater scales. I got 2 of them. One of them is, actually, I don't know which one's better. I guess we'll see. But if it's not going to be another hunter one, then I don't know. I'll flip a coin. And that will decide whether or not I will do Warlock or Titan if I don't want to do a Hunter one. Alright, enough rambling from me, I'm going to end it there. If you have any suggestions or ideas for me, please leave a comment down below. I'd be more than willing to try it out. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye!